2Country Radio.
Find us on Facebook and Twitter. We play more music every hour, every day. 2Country Radio. Turn on, tune in.
Hi Cam, welcome to England.
Thank you.
Is it your first visit?
No, I when I was younger, I came with a county choir, like a children's choir, and we toured. I think I was like, it was maybe like 1998, and we came and sang like Canterbury Cathedral, maybe like Royal Albert Hall, and they went to Paris too. And it is wonderful and amazing. And I think when you're that age, though, you have no clue what's going on. You're
Absolutely.
like, who am I talking to today? And what's my hair look like? And too busy being concerned with, yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you're so lucky to be over here with Carrie Underwood and the Apple Music
I
Festival.
know. They only told me a week ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been over to Scandinavia to tour independently, and my band from Sweden, like the American band this was like our one weekend off.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm not going to ruin it for them, and like instead I just had the Swedes fly over, and it went really great. They sounded amazing as always.
They did. It was a really, really good show. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, for our listeners who maybe have only heard a couple of your songs, maybe they're wondering who you are and where you've come from.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into all this?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I did that choir, and I learned a lot about music theory and harmonies, and that's kind of where I started arranging. And like in college and high school, I started a cappella groups, so I'd kind of write for them. And then in college, I picked up guitar and started kind of like songwriting and learning that. But my track was actually, I was doing psych research, so I wanted to get a PhD and just be a researcher. And I did a lot of research on emotions with labs that were doing things on emotions and relationships and stuff. So it kind of all tied together. But then, like as I was getting ready to sort of like take that next step and go into graduate school, I wasn't sure, and I felt like I should be doing music. And I asked my professor, what do you think? And she said, if you're 80 years old and you're looking back on your life, what do you regret more? Having not done,
So true.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do music.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it went really well. I kind of started as a writer and then realized being a writer's just as risky and you're just as poor, so you might as well give it the whole go. And
you don't get as much fun either being a writer.
Yeah, I won't say that for my writer friends, but I mean, it's the part being on stage and like looking at people, because I feel all the songs, because they're all, I write them and they're all from my life on some level.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling them, and then to watch other people's faces like mimic like the emotion that I'm singing is so cool.
Yeah, that must absolutely blow you away.
Yeah, I mean that's that makes all the long flights worth it.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you've got different people connecting with it every day.
Yeah.
So I guess it's never going to get old.
I hope so.
So who inspired you when you were growing up? I mean, did you always know this was what you wanted to do?
No, because when I was in 3rd grade, I think I wanted to be a singer. My dad sang a lot, and he was a really good singer. But my parents are both in construction and construction management, so I didn't know any musicians. And then in 4th grade, somehow I got it in my head that I wanted to be a Supreme Court justice. Oh. I was like super into that. So I kind of just went on that track, and I didn't think being I always loved music, but I didn't think it was like a job. So, when everyone's like, what are you going to do? I would never say musician.
Yeah.
And I think I held on to that for a long time. So, but in terms of being inspired, I think right when I did think that I could do this, there was this gal named St. Vincent that was just coming out, and she's kind of like an indie rock chick, and she has crazy curly hair, and she's like just very dedicated to her craft, and her music isn't anything like my music, but as a girl, you don't have a lot of role models that are doing exactly what they want to do. I mean, you can tell by the way she does things. She doesn't try and make things pretty. She's not trying to be a pretty person. She is beautiful, but she's like, she just does what's going to be best for her music. Fantastic. And it's, really inspiring.
Yeah.
And then now I currently love, and for the past few years, like Eric Church and what he does with Jay Joyce. I think their music is fantastic too.
He's got a really big following over here now.
Yeah?
He's been over
Good.
A few times, yeah.
Good. I mean, that's the right person to follow.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is the thing, you're connecting with all the best people.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
It's so crazy to like look at my, sounds so weird, but when you like scroll through your Facebook or your Twitter, and I'm like, who am I? Like sang with Lady Antebellum the other day. That's insane.
I heard about that. How was that?
Like, I used to try and be them. You know what I mean? I wrote songs tried to sound like them. I think they're like the Dixie Chicks incarnate, I think they're like a cool harmony-driven thing, and yeah, they were so sweet.
Aww.
And they're like saying things like my song was like the best song of the year, and like,
wonderful.
How?
Yeah. How do you even get that?
I don't even know.
Yeah. I know when you started out, you were writing songs for other people. I know you've written for Miley Cyrus. Mm-hmm. I heard you also sang jingles for a radio station before you got your big break.
It was so cool. The Nashville station, even before I got signed, I met the guy who runs that station. He actually played one of my songs before I got signed to Sony, which was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And the guy who does the jingles was the one who introduced me to that radio guy. And they asked, would you do a jingle for us? And I was like, yeah, man, like I owe you guys a ton. So, it was really cool. They just have always kind of been watching out for me. And so it's kind of fun to have done that for them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say to anyone who was looking to get into the music business? What advice have you got?
Work really, really hard, and don't think it's like the 70s, 80s where you're going to make a ton of money. Like, shouldn't be your motivation at all. Absolutely. And once you get to a spot where you think you're really good, show it to someone you very much admire, which is what I did with Jeff Basker, and they're going to tell you it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And then you got to keep working harder. And it's just so important to fail. Like, don't be afraid of that. Like, just
learn from it.
And just be ready to fail a lot of times. And there's no one moment that changes everything. Everyone always thinks that. So you get extra nervous, or you feel like this false sense of hope too, where people are just like, oh, this one break happened and then I'm done. Here I am.
Yeah.
And it's so many times, like you just will have, be ready for the opportunities, and then you have to prove yourself again and again and again and again, and you just get better and better, and it's a long road, but that's why you just have to love it.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
not
you've got to be
so
dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, your style is so refreshing and so yellow.
Thanks.
We love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know so many artists today, they seem to conform to kind of the current fashions and things, yet you've got your own clearly defined style. And it just seems to say kind of fun, freedom, and that it's fine to just be yourself.
Thank you.
It's great to have that, because it really makes you stand out from the crowd for all the right reasons.
Thank you.
I mean, was that a deliberate thing, or is it just your own personality showing through?
I think it's definitely deliberate to not look like other people. I think I'm not super fashion forward. That's like, before I got into this stuff, like I rarely wore makeup. Like I kind of like a really normal person. And then getting into this, I think it's important to put on a show. Yeah. And so I believe in kind of looking like something, like I'm bringing people into like a world for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think just, like me and my manager's my best friend, and we spent a lot of time kind of dreaming up like where we're at now and where we're headed.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
I think, and so I think just maybe it's easier because I've done a lot of this kind of outside the system. Like the album was basically done before I got signed, all that kind of stuff. So I think it just seems natural to think that I've got to just be my own separate self.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We love it. I mean, we're loving your EP here at 2Country Radio. All the songs are just so different.
Yeah.
There's not one that's the same as another.
Yeah.
It really shows your versatility.
Yeah.
I think the one that stands out for me most is the angry song, as you called it last night,
Yeah.
The Way Train.
Yeah.
I love it.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, such clever lyrics. Hard-hitting
thanks.
track. I mean, what was the fuel behind that engine?
That one actually was, I was writing it for another artist, because a pop artist was working with Jeff, and actually her name's Elle King. I don't know if you know her. She's starting to come up now. she plays banjo. So we're like, oh, we'll do a banjo riff thing. And Jeff was like, make it like really dark. And maybe like some tech references. And so we came up with, Anders and I'm gonna hit you like a drone strike from a clear blue sky. And it was like
Wonderful.
Super dark. And everyone was like, that is too much. Like, take it back. So then we switched it to...
Scare a few.
Yeah. So we switched to Runaway Train. And I loved it so much. I was like, okay, I'm not giving it to anybody. And yeah, I had kind of tried to date this guy, just like casual, and like he just was a jerk, and it just didn't end well. And like it just that idea that you get so consumed. I'm Scorpio, and I was just consumed with revenge. Like I'm gonna ruin him. I'm gonna ruin and I never would do anything like that,
Yeah.
But in your mind, you're like, how can I make things horrible for this person? And people do it, countries do it. I mean, you just think that like getting even's gonna fix it. And it's just this way of, like, going overboard kind of in the song. And hopefully you realize, like, when someone's getting that angry, you can be angry in the moment with the song, but, I mean, stepping back, you, like, watch it, it's like, of course, that's not the way to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I know you performed a snippet of Burning House on radio in America. And it absolutely skyrocketed up the iTunes chart from the top 200 to the top 50 in just 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been absolutely incredible for you. How did that feel?
It was wild. Like, I didn't know that could happen. And it was so cool that, like, Sony, you don't think of corporations as, like, turning on a dime, There's a lot of bureaucracy and red tape. But they completely did. I mean, we went in later that afternoon and they were like, okay, we're going to have this be the single, even though it's summer and it's a ballad and you're a girl and all these things that were against it. And it's still, people just connected with that song. And it was, I mean, it's kind of sad. I guess we all have this, like, sad moment in us that we all see. But it's so cool. I mean, you see it on social media too, like how fast people respond and do covers, and everyone's like kind of sad singing it.
That must be a real honor when you find people doing covers of it and things.
Yeah, and there's so many too. It's really cool.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it's so funny because like I think of people say they like have it on repeat, and I think of the songs that I grew up with and having on repeat and like crying to myself. It's like, oh, now this is for them.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, you're heading on tour for a few dates with Little Big Town shortly, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really exciting. So, I mean, you're mixing with some of the best harmonising groups in country music.
Know.
Little Big Town, Lady Antebellum. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't.
Have you got any plans beyond that, or are you just kind of enjoying the journey at the moment?
Yeah, I think I've got a few dates with Darius Rucker, too. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty crazy busy until holidays, and then next year start up touring again. So it's going to be about making sure I carve out the time to work on the next album, because it takes me, I like to have a lot of time to work on that stuff. So it's going to be crazy.
Oh, are you planning on coming back to the UK soon?
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
A little bit more music and a tour?
Yeah, right?
We'd love to see you.
Yeah, I would love to be back. I love being over here, and I love being part of just the world community, and the fact that music can bring me here and make that easier for me is a big deal.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure you've got a massive career ahead of you.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, this is only the beginning. So where can our listeners find out more about you and your music?
camcountry.com is the website, and then it kind of links you to the socials and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, well, I mean, here at 2Country, we can't wait to hear more from you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, thank you for taking time to chat with us
today.
And all the best with the rest of
the
year
and
everything else, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cam.
We play more music every hour, every day. Turn on, tune in. 2Country Radio.